it's been a while, but I'm back, and I'm back to finish off the maintenance series because I know a lot of you are out there, you're at 600 miles and you just want to get that shit done. So, with that being said, the next thing on our list is to inspect the exhaust valve control actuator, and I will show you where that is on the Gixxer. But before we move on with the rest of the maintenance series, as you saw in my last video, I had the left side fairing off of the bike so I could do the oil change and the filter change. You're also going to need to take off the right side fairing, which I've already done. If you need tips on that, please go check out my other video on installing the Shogun frame slider protection kit. On there it shows you how to remove both sides. So without further ado, let's get started. So as you can tell, look at all the construction that's been going on here, guys. This is basically one of the reasons why I couldn't finish these videos. There's like hardly any room here. And on top of that, the weather's been fucking crazy. But that's not what you want to hear, so let's get to work. Alright guys, and just so you know, here's a list of things that need to be done. Obviously, I replaced the engine oil. We're going to do this next. After that, we're going to do brakes and steering, so on and so forth, blah blah blah, and that's it. 8 fucking steps. So let's get on to it, inspecting the exhaust control valve. Okay guys, so on this bike, unfortunately I hate these newer bikes because they started implementing this shit right here. The fucking exhaust control valve actuator, which is this thing right here with the cables that runs all up into the bike. It basically opens a flap inside the exhaust, which basically gives you more power when you're switching power modes or when you're pulling on the throttle. Depending on your throttle, it opens up. And that needs to all sync together. Sometimes that runs out of sync. So what we're going to be checking here as far as inspection goes is we want to make sure these bolts right here, these 2 bolts on this side, not this side, this side, are tight, which they should be. I don't think they got loose. Okay? We want to make sure those are tight. If they're not tight, then that's a completely different story and a completely different video, which involves adjusting this to spec. For this video, we're going to assume that this is in spec, and we're going to go ahead and continue the rest of the looking over it. So these bolts here look pretty tight to me. They're not loose by hand, that's for sure. And my bolts actually have marks here that Suzuki put with marker here to make sure if they moved or not. And this makes it easier for the dealership to know as well. Obviously these 2 line up. This bolt hasn't moved at all, so it's fine there. So make sure yours is fine. If not, I'm gonna have to show you the other steps involved in this, which you can message me, of course. So that's that. The next part of this is we need to make sure that when you turn the key, this opens and closes the way it should. It should open, close, and then go to 3/4 turns, I believe. We got to check it here, and we got to check it under the gas tank where the servo is. So next step involved in this is going to be propping up your gas tank. So you're going to need your gas tank prop, and you're going to need Allen for these 2 bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this up right now. Alright guys, so for the gas tank, we're going to need a 5mm Allen key. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. It's 2 bolts. Make sure you're putting all this stuff aside somewhere where you know what it is, you know which bolt goes where, and all that good shit, you know. Okay guys, so we got the 2 bolts off. Now we're just going to pick up the tank. Actually, you know what? I fucked up. We can't pick up the tank yet because we've got to take off the 2 side plastic pieces, which I'm going to do right now. If you followed my other videos, you know how this goes. Right here, guys, you're going to push this in and pull it down so the little clip comes out like that. And then you're just going to slowly, carefully pry it. It's Velcro. So be real gentle. There you go. Same thing on the other side. And once again, I'm forgetting because it's a crazy fucking hot day and I'm hallucinating. No, but seriously. Same thing on the other side. Then we're gonna get a, I think it's a 4mm here, Allen, to take off the seat. Then we can lift up the tank. Now we can prop our gas tank up with the prop. You can get this from the Suzuki dealership. I'm not sure about the part number. I think I responded to somebody's comment in another video about what this part number is, but if you need to know it, let me know. It's just a prop tool. So pull up the gas tank. You're gonna put this end of the tool like this in the top of the fork nut here, and then put this in one of the holes for the gas tank. And there you go, guys, you prop the tank. Now let's look for the exhaust servo. All right, guys, I just kind of want to show everybody what's going on here. Checking the exhaust valve the first 600 miles every 2 months, and then every 24 months. Lift and support the tank. We did that. Check for smooth motion. We're gonna do that right now. Check the lock nuts for tightness. They're tight. Check that the pulley rotates full open and to full close when turning the ignition switch on. And finally, we're going to check the voltage on this, but let me show you what's going on so far. Okay, guys, so if you have the bike in the in your run position here, and we're going to turn the key. When you turn the key, I'm going to show you what happens with the exhaust control valve. It should open and close. Alright, there you go. Open, close, 3/4. What you're looking for too, I'm going to turn this off again. Okay, down here, guys, it's really hard to tell, but I'm going to try and get the camera in here. Okay, down here, guys, right here, there's a big box here, a big black box. If you get all the way over here and you look down there, you will see a like a diamond plated thing. When you turn the switch, it will open and close as well. You want to make sure that it's doing that smoothly. You also want to make sure that, let me illustrate it in a picture so I can show you a little bit better. Okay, it looks like this. Okay, you want to make sure this diamond stays equal, that it stays in the right position. It's not up here or down here. Once it does its open and close, it should stay right there in the middle. Okay, that's what you're looking for. I didn't think this was going to be a big deal, and so far it looks like it's working fine. So we're going to go on to the next step, which is check the output voltage. So I'm going to show you that right now. Okay, guys, so as far as the voltage goes, basically what you want to do is put the bike in dealer mode. And when you do that, here's the gauge cluster. You should have 0, 0 with a negative there. If you switch it on and it says DTC C46, and if that's not indicated on the screen, the adjustment's fine. If it does say that, then that's a whole nother fucking story, guys. Now, I'm not even gonna bother checking it, guys. I trust it. This bike is still fucking new. But just to let you guys know, if you wanna go ahead and check that and how to ghetto rig it into dealer mode. Okay, if you look in here, guys, there's a little white cable down there. Okay, that's where you plug in like a diagnostics unit, whatever the fuck. You're gonna pull that up. Basically, there's gonna be, I believe, a black and white wire on there going into the back of it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna use a paper clip, and there's other videos on YouTube about this, but you're gonna use a paper clip and you're gonna put the paper clip in both of the two holes in the socket where those two things are. They're like right perpendicular to each other. When you do that and you turn the key, you'll notice that C00 come up with the negative sign. So right now, of course, it's down here buried. Guys, I buried it out, but there's a cap on it that you're gonna have to pull off. And if you look inside it, guys, see how it's all here perpendicular right here? You'd put both ends of the paper clip in one hole and this hole, and then not start up the bike, but turn the key, and you'll see that thing on the screen. Now, I believe, according to the internet, it's gonna be the side that has like a red and white stripe wire and a black wire. So right here, this side. Right here, this end. It's hard to see, guys, I'm sorry. But that's what you would do if you want to go that extra step. So that, guys, basically completes the exhaust valve actuator inspection. So we're gonna go ahead and move on.